Hey y'all, I'm back. This is Tanny G Diaries, and we about to get in tune with these story times today. Let me tell y'all, today's story time is gonna be about another one of my exes, a different one. And let's give him a name really quick. Let's give him the name David. Okay. So me and David had met through one of my homegirls. Let me give a little backstory on him. So me and this specific ex, I named it David, right? Oh yeah, David. So me and this specific ex, we were initially friends. Like I had met him through my homegirl that I had grew up with. I knew her for years. And she had a neighbor that she used to, interact with and talk with. And he used to come over the neighbor's house. So when she would go over the neighbor's house and lollygag and stuff, I would go too. So one of these particular days, David was at her house. So when we was over there, we was sitting lollygagging, chopping it up or whatever. And, I was a little heartbroken. This was another, y'all gonna know me by the end of this. During my whole 20s, I was just one relationship after another. Like, it was literally like, I only was having like six months to a year in between those relationships during that time. But I was in those relationships for a couple of years, on and off. But I was a lover. Like, I was using one nigga to get over the next nigga. I was one of them types back then. And I was like, I didn't want to deal with the hurt. And I didn't want to deal with, how it was making me feel. Like, I was literally upset all the time. And I didn't like feeling like that. So in order to get out of my feelings and get out of my emotions or whatever, I would go start talking to somebody else. So back to the story. I was talking to him for, we would interact while she was over there. And then after a while, he was like, I like you, I'm feeling you or whatever. Let me get your number. So from that day forward, we would lollygag or whatever. Whenever I would come up her house and hang out, he would come over her house and we would go out the back and sit and chill. And we were smoking shit too. So, I used to blowing it down. So this particular day, me and him was in a relationship for a while. And he was doing like stupid stuff throughout the relationship, which I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna do a story time on a couple of other crazy things that he did. Like, this nigga was supposed to have been taking his little brother to a concert. And he was supposed to have been, I guess he was setting up some shit so as though his brother could get his first piece of, So he was trying to introduce his brother into, because I think his brother was turning, 15 or something? So he had paid the little, how they paid them to do what they're going to do for the little kid, for his little brother. So he met her, but that's going to be another story time. He cheated on me and with a stripper. David cheated on me. That ex-boyfriend cheated on me with a stripper. But that's going to be another story time for another day. But, so we were in a relationship and everything was good at first, but I hadn't started to notice little things about him that I didn't necessarily like. And it was like bothering the shit out of me. So he would get so fucking drunk that he couldn't even remember the shit that happened the next day. Like, he couldn't remember none of the stuff he did. It was so bad to the point that he didn't remember 2 different occasions where he pulled out a gun on me. One time it was in a car and he shot it out the window. And then another specific time, it was 3 different times. Like, this nigga chased me down when I broke up with him. But this is going to be that one part is going to be a part of this story time probably. I might add that in there as a little extra. I don't know. But then another specific time was when he was drunk. Like, this nigga chased me out the house because we were living together. He chased me out the house and he was like, I dare you to leave. I dare you to pull off. Like, he was one of those type. Like, he couldn't, and then he wouldn't remember the next day at all. Like, he wouldn't remember shit. He wouldn't remember chasing me down. Like, that's how bad he used to get drunk. And I started to have a problem with that after a while. Like, he couldn't function unless he was drunk. His favorite little drink was those, I think Parmesan. Like, he used to have a Parmesan or a canned beer or something like that. Like, he used to get drunk. Like, real bad drunk. But one thing I can honestly say about him is he always had some money. He always had coins in his pocket. He was working and stuff like that. So I really didn't do too much complaining with him, except for when it came to his baby mother and his daughter. Like when he got in a relationship with me, she was being a bitter baby mother. She knew that him dealing with me, she couldn't manipulate money out of him. She couldn't get money out of him or use his daughter against him, because I'm putting him deep on what was going on, even though I was minding my business. But he would come venting to me a lot and upset a lot about it. So that was part of the reason why he was real bad drinking too. So I'm like, this particular day, I'm like, I don't have time for, like, I think we broke up. We had broke up, and I think it was because I found out about him and the prostitute, because he left the fucking receipt on the counter. At this point, I might as well just add that little part into the story. So, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to say that to another story time. But I had broke up with him. I told him I wasn't dealing with him no more. I told him I wanted him out of the place or whatever. And he could go do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. So he had went to work this day. And then come to find out, one of the girls that was his coworker, he was talking to a girl at his job. And I told him I was okay with him having that girlfriend. I mean, that homegirl at work. But then one particular day, I'm going through his phone, and she like, I bet you your girl can't do you better than I can, and a little weird shit like that. So I'm like, oh, now I got a problem with her. Because he like, no, it's nothing like that. She just cool. But my thing is, why was she even comfortable enough to send that to your phone? Why would she felt like it was okay for her to send that to your phone? So I had said something to him in reference to that, and I'm like, so my thing is that I think this was after he went out of town, and he didn't answer the phone to me the whole weekend, and come to find out, he told me he was going with his cousin out of town. So I knew that was okay. That was fine with me. But come to find out, he took the girl from work and the homegirl with him when he went out of town with him and his cousin. So when he was calling me, he was whispering on the phone. So I find out all of this. So at this point, I don't even want to be in a relationship with you at this point, because you're lying. Then I had confronted you about her sending that mess to your phone, and you kept trying to tell me it wasn't nothing, X, Y, and Z, and I told you stop talking to her. So he kept on deciding he wanted to have a conversation with her and deal with her when he was at work. So he didn't tell me that she was going out of town with them. So when I was calling him over the weekend, he wouldn't answer the phone. But when he did answer the phone, it sounded like he was in the bathroom. He was whispering. David was on this fucking phone whispering to me. So now at this point, I'm hot. So I'm like, I'm calling his phone after he hung up like, yeah, no, I'm gonna talk to you later. Da, da, da. Phone went back off. Oh, so when he comes home, I said, oh, okay. I don't even want this relationship no more. Like, nigga, you gotta go, this, that, and other. He took me for a joke. He came home. I'm guessing he went and stayed with his mother that night or whatever. So he decided he wanted to just go to work from there. I'm like, you need to come get your stuff. I'm not coming to get nothing, X, Y, and Z. And the girl worked at his job too. So I'm calling his phone like, when you gonna come pick your stuff up? When you gonna come pick your stuff up? He thought it was a joke. He must not knew my name, because it wasn't working for me. That wasn't working for me. Like, you was playing all these games. So therefore, he was at work the next day. The next day passed, he still ain't come pick his stuff up. I said, oh, okay, cool. So I called my god sister up. I'm like, girl, you know about the nigga I was telling you about, He played with me. I told him he had to go because I knew he left. I found out that he went out of town with the girl. The reason how I found out was because she was still texting his phone. And when she was texting his phone, I decided I wanted to respond. And she decided that she wanted to tell me, like, yeah, let's go back out Virginia again. I had a nice time. It was cool, laid back. Oh, that's how I found out, because I left that part out. I left out how I found out that he was with the girl. So that's why I didn't want to be with his ass no more, because I was in his damn phone, per usual. One thing about me is I used to hurt my own little feelings, because I already knew some shit was going on, and I decided to still want to go look. I still wanted to go look. I wanted to see for my own 2 eyes. So he still wasn't answering the phone. So I'm like, all right, Nisha, I want you to come with me. Or whatever. I done said her name. Ooh, whatever. But so Mary, she like, yeah, come on, we can go take it to the job. So I packed his shit up, put them in totes and bins or whatever, and bags, and put it in my car. Took it out there to my car, so I went and picked her up. She like, girl, you know I don't play no type of game, so you sure you want to go do this? So I'm like, yeah, girl, let's go. I'm like, I'm tired of his bullshit. I'm tired of this lying shit. So me and her drive all the way out this man's job. So I'm like, I'm gonna just place the bin right here. So I'm taking the stuff out the car to put in front of the job. Cause this nigga still not answering my text message. He still ain't come pick up his shit. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna handle that for you. Since you ain't wanna come pick it up, I'm gonna bring it to you. So I brought the shit to him. So I'm taking the stuff out the backseat of my car, putting it on the curb. She like, no, what the fuck you doing? What you doing? She like, you placing out there all night? She was like, fuck that nigga. She was like, he did that grimy ass shit to you. Fuck that nigga. So I'm like, all right. That was back in my crazy days, y'all. I done changed. It was back in my crazy days. So she starts pulling the shit out the car, throwing it in front of the job. She was like, you been too nice. You still taking it out all nice and shit. So I had stuff packed in the back seat and in the trunk. So most of the stuff was in the back seat. I forgot it was a tote in the trunk. So she pulled the last little tote out of the back seat. And she was like, that nigga played with you. She was like, he got me fucked up and you out here, she was like, she got you fucked up. You out here taking these bins out the car, nice and stuff, and sitting it out there. She said, fuck that shit. So she started flipping the bins out front of the job, like literally flipping the shit out of the bins in front of this man's job. So I'm like, bitch, you gonna get us in trouble. Get the fuck in. So she dumped everything out of the tote in front of the job. So come to find out, his ass had left work early that day. He didn't tell me that. He was just ignoring my phone calls. So the people at his job picked his bin up from outside. I didn't find this out until I think a day later after this happened. So they picked the bin up from outside the job. They put all the shit back in the bin, the stuff back in the bin or whatever. Because after we dumped all the shit out, we jumped in the car and drove off. Come to find out, we had another tote in the trunk. But I'm gonna get to that part. But we driving all crazy, getting the fuck out of there, and whole time his ass wasn't at work. So the next, that day passed or whatever, and they pulled him in the office when he got to work, and was like, yeah, somebody threw your stuff in front of the job. We have all your belongings in a bag. Like his aunt worked there too, so his aunt was able to talk to them before he even got a chance to get there or whatever. So I was crazy, y'all. I was crazy. I know I was dead wrong for doing that. I know I was dead wrong, but I was crazy back then. Everybody had a crazy past and shit. Everybody had a crazy past. So he calls my phone, hollering and screaming like, yeah, you almost got me fucking fired. He like, you almost got me fired, X, Y, and Z. I had bullets in that bin, and you had it all thrown in front of my job. I didn't know there was no bullets in the bin. I just packed. My thing is, it was already stuffed in the bin and a couple of the bins. I just put what I could put in there because I just wanted the shit out of my house. So he like, yeah, you almost got me fired. It's a good thing my aunt was in here. She explained the situation. They was about to fire me because I had bullets in the bin. So I'm like, whatever. I said, because I've been telling you to come get it because I was hot. I was mad because, like, nigga, you cheat on me. Oh, you gonna turn me into a whole different person. Like, now I ain't like that. Now I just block you and keep it the fuck pushing. Because it's no point. Like, I'm not about to keep embarrassing myself by acting a fool. Like, I understand that I took accountability for the fact that I chose these people. I stayed with these people after the situation. Like, don't ever let nobody guilt trip you into staying with them. Like, he was one of the ones that would guilt trip me when I wanted to leave and make me feel bad. And I already knew what he was going through as far as the situation with his baby mother and why he was drinking and stuff like that. I let my last one manipulate me in the stand too. Like, I was just like a sucker. Like, I'm honest with my mistakes. And I was a sucker. Like, I really was. Like, I was so big on love and I wanted to help everybody. But I would get these niggas that would use and abuse the shit out of me. That's why I have so many boundaries now. I don't talk to just anybody. Like, you got to go through a couple of ringers before I even, give you all my full attention. And not putting all my eggs in one basket. Like, I used to do that and niggas was all over the place. But that's beyond. Let's get back to the story. So he like, yeah, you threw my stuff in there. He like, you better be grateful I ain't lose my job, but we had an issue. I was like, well, I got one more of your Benz in my trunk. So I was like, I ain't got nothing to say to you or whatever. He told me he was at work. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take the Benz to your mother's house. I'm going to add on one of the gun stories to the end of this because it was still a part of that day. So I'm going to add one in there. I was going to wait till the next time. Matter of fact, I might split it up into two. So basically, this story is coming to an end. Basically, we're going to start the next one when I went to go drop this last tote off. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And leave y'all comments down below if y'all thought these stories was crazy. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below. And I'm out.